Okay, Alex and Brandon and Katie, Team Alex. We'll call you guys Team Alex. Okay, so I'm just going through this. Below sketches provides interface kiosk sketches as well as digital wider frames and main unique functions and features. Okay, let's talk about that. I want to talk about your writing first, and then we're going to jump over into the three um, files um, that you've submitted here. Okay, so three functions: tires. Consumers are able to test drive the vehicle. This is great. This is awesome. So yeah, so you can definitely, assuming that there is a driving simulator, and one of the features of the driving simulator would be to um, uh, select the mileage on the original tires so that you can see how it drives at 20, 30, 40,000 miles. And then also, of course, see how the vehicle, the actual, you can maybe set a setting in the simulator to indicate, okay, I want to see what this car drives in 10 years when it's got 100,000 miles on it. So that's fantastic. Good feature there. This isn't really a feature. This wouldn't be a function of the kiosk. This would be more of a function of the vehicle. So the vehicle would notify in the need of repair. So every 10,000 miles on it will notify. Yeah, and that's a feature that actually is current. I know that my wife drives a car that she gets text messages when and it's all set up, right? But she gets text messages when she needs oil changes, when she needs, to rotate her tires, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then she's got to interact with that by, of course, keeping up on her mileage, right? So I think that actually maybe no, the mileage is tied in. So the notifications indicate miles. Yes, yes, that's right. That makes sense. So when you hit X amount of miles, it'll say, okay, now it's time for this kind of maintenance, this maintenance, and this maintenance. So repairs wouldn't be a function that would be associated with the kiosk itself. So that wouldn't be a function. Okay, then you have comparison. This is a great idea right here. So in the actual kiosk itself, and I don't know how you plan on setting up your kiosk. I'll look at your sketches in a second. Well, I already looked at them, but I'm not real sure how the final is going to be. So I'm giving you a lot of possibility here because we're still looking at possible solutions, right? So the comparison could be made right in the kiosk itself, where you select all of the features that you want, and then you could have a button for comparison where you are comparing different manufacturers, same price point, same comparative model with the same comparative features, so you can see a apples to apples comparison. That could be located right on the kiosk, or if the kiosk is an actual driving simulator, or if you're using projection screens or a projection room, that could all be keyed right in to to get that comparative analysis, and that's a fantastic idea. Out of the three functions, the only one that's not applicable to the kiosk itself is repairs. Okay, yes, I will. Let's take a look. You're saying you want some take a look at the actual design of the book itself, and yes, I will absolutely. I'll do that right now. I think it's great. I do. Let's just bring that down so we can fit it in the window, and then we'll just reduce that a little bit. So right now, and one of the things I typically do is we'll just go through here and take a look at things like the grid. Okay, so here's the grid. Now, what I do typically to check grid and consistency of pages, I'll place my cursor right here and just scroll down. Okay, so that logo is placed consistently on every page. Let's take a look at the headlines. Okay, A right there. So B, K wouldn't, B, so those are all definitely fall within a grid. Now features, let's scroll down here. That one has moved, and this one has moved too. So you're kind of breaking the grid right there. So you may consider adhering to a solid grid in that regard. And then the sketches are the sketches are different sizes, so I'm not too worried about those fitting into a grid. Then we come over here, market analysis. This is great. Good typography here. Yep, looking great. I think your design is looking pretty good so far. You guys will elect to add further embellishments and create more engaging design elements as we work through the process book itself. But I think this is a really good start. And don't forget to take a look at all of those examples that I have posted. There's examples in the class, there's examples in the announcements, there's examples everywhere. So, and I do that for a reason, guys. I do that so you guys can get a look Now, I'm not a big fan of using examples, and let me tell you the reason why. I find that a lot of students, now the engaged student is going to take a look at an example and they're going to say, oh, okay, well, we got this and we need to do this and this is a good example and I'm going to use this for inspiration. Less engaged students tend to use examples and they basically just kind of duplicate what they see. So I'm not a big fan of using examples, but I think in this class it's necessary because this is kind of uncharted waters for a lot of us, right? So I think examples are going to work in this case. And plus, the essence of a team is, the team members aren't going to let somebody, if somebody is just starting to kind of duplicate what they see in another presentation, team members are going to say, hey, I'm part of this and I'm not down with, basically just reiterating what we've already seen. So there are plenty of examples. All right, I'm over 5.5 minutes, and that's pretty good. I think I covered. Oh wait, no, I've got more to go. Wireframes. Okay, wireframes and revised sketches. Let's look at the revised sketches first. So a couple of comments here on the revised sketches. So this is the arcade, and this is a simulator. This is fantastic. So right now the simulator looks like it's on a screen, and I'm wondering if maybe some sort of a holographic, maybe some kind of a capsule that you crawl into, you climb into, and close the doors down on you. That way you could have 360 projection instead of just a screen in front of you, right? But that's fantastic. I love it. Love it. And then, of course, all of the different features that we have talked about, Ninja Tires color. Yeah, absolutely. And this could be this simulator could be the actual configurator too. You could actually sit down, get in the pod, so to speak, close it down, start the program, start making your choices, right? And then the program would load your choices in along with the driving, road conditions, miles, etc. And you could actually do your test drive right there. When you're done, you send a printout right to the printer where it has all of your features. It has any sort of questionnaires that you have answered or are involved in the simulator. And I think it's a great idea to add a questionnaire to the beginning of the entire kiosk configurator. This way you can eliminate things like this, an oversized car for a tiny person or a tiny car for somebody who's 6'8" and 280 pounds, right? You see what I'm saying? So simple questionnaire on driving habits and or personal physical attributes and things like that, I think those are really the best the best way to go about that, just so we can kind of isolate the correct car for the correct consumer. All right, this right here, there's something right here that was a little confusing to me, and that is this. Where was it? It must have been here. Okay, so here's a driving simulator. All right, so yeah, definitely work out the details there, and I think it was this one. Interface for kiosk. Let me see something here. I think, am I missing? Oh, yeah, okay, here we are. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. So this looks like a hologram, right? It looks like a hologram. But the problem with that is that if you're going to do a hologram or a holographic projection or even a projection room, it would be best to have it life size, right? Because it wouldn't solve much user need to stand at a kiosk, configure your car, and have a little picture of your car like this. Even if it's 360, it's still not going to give you the appreciation of a full-size car that you can actually look at a projection. So it could be in a projection room or even a holographic projection area where the car loads up and you can just walk around it 360 and check it. That, or you could even introduce VR, virtual reality headset, where it incorporates with the kiosk itself so that as you configure, the car in front of you is being built. Okay, so you change the color and the car turns from red to blue or whatever. Do you see what I'm saying? Change the tires, the tire sizes, and all sorts of different things, right? So just keep thinking of ways. Now remember, this is deep dive, so we're not designing a vehicle configurator kiosk. Right? I think we established that last week. That's not what we're doing here. We're not establishing a kiosk. We're not designing a kiosk. We're out to change the way people buy cars. Okay, and that is deep dive, and that's the difference between design thinking and design. Okay, design would say, all right, as a designer, I'm hired to design a kiosk for vehicle configuration. So you get your team together and you design the kiosk, right? But design thinking, yes, that's where we take it a step further. And that's where we say, we're not just interested in think of the desk, think of the school desk from IDEO, okay? So the challenge or the design project is to design a new desk for school, college students, right? So instead of just saying, okay, so this is what we're gonna do, we're gonna design a desk. No, they take it a step further and they say, how can this desk benefit the user? How can it make life easier for the user? All right. And the same thing here. We're not just designing a kiosk. We are changing. We're out to change the way folks buy cars. All right. So think of the big picture. All right, guys, over 10 minutes. Didn't want to do that, but did definitely want to be as complete and thorough as possible. In my feedback, any questions, comments, concerns, clarifications, any of the above, guys, please let me know. As you're going to find out here, this this last couple of weeks of class really whipped by fast because there's a lot to do and it's fascinating. So put your seatbelt on. No pun intended. Put your seatbelts on because the ride starts getting really fast from here on in. All right, guys, great job, team. Alex, Brandon, Katie. Fantastic work. All right, guys, questions, comments, concerns, especially questions. If you have any at all, please let me know quickly. Thanks, guys.